Good afternoon. I'm Jim Check with Kelowna Now, and I'm here with the 4 p.m. news. I'm all by myself. Jason is on his way to Vancouver, driving over the connector and the Coquihalla. And we got a warning for you, Jason, if you're still out there listening. There'll be freezing rain for the Coquihalla and the Highway 3, extended to include that Okanagan connector. The freezing rain warning was issued for that section and to extend over to the connector as well. That warning was put through last night. Now it's been extended. So careful out there if you're on the highway, because that Pacific frontal system combined with lingering cold air is expected to produce an extended period of freezing rain. And that freezing rain is expected to ease or transition to showers or flurries by Saturday morning. And keep in mind that weather and road conditions can change suddenly, creating hazardous driving conditions. Always check Drive BC when you're traveling. And some really sad news. A BC man was killed after being hit by a snowplow. Tragically died after being hit by a snowplow on Thursday. He had his car had gone into the ditch and he was walking along the road, and then he was hit by a private snowplow. A GoFundMe has been set up by a family friend for Anthony Heltzel, who the man that was killed. A husband and a father. Very, very sad news. He was on his way to work in the morning. Tragic. Anyway, if you want to help out that family, you can go on KelownaNow.com and find the link to the GoFundMe. Tiny homes will start arriving next week at the site in Kelowna's North End. Starting next week, people experiencing homeless will begin having a home. That pilot project, announced in the fall of 2023, will see 60 homes installed at 759 Crowley Avenue, which has announced the name been Step Place, and another 60 units on the city-owned property on Highway 97. Each standalone unit will be outfitted with storage, shelving, a bed, a heating unit. Work also continues on other site buildings, and amenities include washrooms. And there you go. Turning Points Collaborative will operate the site at 2740 Highway 97, which will, that one won't be finished till at least March. The possibility of a third site was hinted at by the city when the city announced it would have taken over the Journey Home strategy in December. No details revealed on that third site. Former WHL coach sentenced to 3 years for sexually assaulting a player in 1998. A Saskatchewan judge has handed a 3-year sentence to a former WHL coach found guilty of inappropriately touching and hitting a teenage player 35 years ago. Judge Peter Burgess told court that Bernard Lynch, a former assistant coach with the Regina Pats, is to serve his sentence in federal prison. The judge convicted Lynch in December of sexual assault on a 17-year-old boy in 1988. The player cannot be identified. Lakes in Yoho Park closed as BC records first case of whirling disease. Parks Canada is temporarily closing all waters of Body and Yoho and Kootenay National Park due to detection of that whirling disease in Emerald Lake, according to the Columbia Shuswap Invasive Species Society. This is the first ever detection of disease in BC, raising urgent conservation and environmental concerns. The temporary closures in Yoho will be in place until March 2024 in order to stop the spread of the harmful disease. BC law firm files Canada-wide class action lawsuits against Quaker Oat for recalled products. We talked about this earlier. A recent recall of dozens of Quaker Oat products has led to a BC law firm filing a Canada-wide class action suit. On January 11, Quaker Canada recalled 38 products, including cereals and granola bars, due to potential salmonella contamination. The Regional District of Central Okanagan seeks feedback on a 5-year financial plan and a proposed 8.5% tax increase. It's preparing its 2024-2028 financial plan and wants feedback from residents. They want to increase their budget by $4.1 million from $61.4 million to $65.6 million. That equates to that 8.5 average increase for property owners in the Central Okanagan. Residents have until February 12th, 2024 to submit questions and provide feedback. Another really sad story is the BC SPCA seizes several dogs and puppies found freezing on an Okanagan property. 7 dogs, including 3 puppies, are on the road to recovery after being seized by the BCSPCA. This was reported by a concerned citizen, reported that living conditions of the dogs prompted that visit to the Cherryville property by an animal protection officer. And there they found the animals in outdoor pens with only some straw on the ice and snow and a couple of tarps for cover. The owner confirmed the dogs were exclusively kept outdoors, even as the temperatures dropped below freezing to start the year. While some dogs can thrive in those temperatures, this wasn't the case for the 2 standard poodles, a Cocker Spaniel, an adult Australian Shepherd, and 3 5-month-old Australian Shepherd puppies. The dogs are currently being cared for by the BCSPCA animal centers throughout the Okanagan, and they'll be available for adoption in 1 or 2 weeks. And that's it. That's all our news for this week, and we'll see you again on Monday morning at 9 a.m., and Jason will be back, and it'll be Jason and Jim on Monday morning. Until then, take care, stay safe, and drive safe.